Alright, it looks like I should be live. Shalom, welcome back to another lesson. I want to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. A double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, great millstone, who rule and teach well. I believe these men to be the true leaders of Israel today, and as always, last but not least, I would say hearty shalom to you believers out there, right? You helpers of the ministry, men, women, and children, and also the laborers that do this work. In all sincerity to you all, I say shalom. That's concerning the prophets and the teachers, right? Shalom to the elect, wherever you may be. Shalom to the elect. I'm gonna do a video on this right here, concerning first post and the Indian incident, right? The GR incident that happened over there. I wanted to do this video initially on Wednesday, but I felt sick for a couple of days, so I couldn't do the lesson back then. Had to wait for either Saturday or Saturday when I come back from camp. So I'm going to try to make this at least 30 minutes long because I want to get out of here by 1 p.m. and start driving down to camp. It's like an hour and plus away. So hopefully this lesson will be edifying. And before we start off, let me go ahead and get the disclaimer act. Just in case if they want to, you don't want to take my video down. Oh man. I used the act on my last video and they didn't mess with it, so maybe it's working. Okay, this is the disclaimer act, fair use. It says federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video disc under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S. Charter 107. Okay, fair use, fair use. I'm not making any profit off of this. My videos are not monetized. I'm just doing this as news reporting, to the elect out there. And I'm also gonna try to do a video in transit as well because I want to speak on the Zakaria situation, which I seen it, over. I think it was yesterday. I seen it, and they were charging people, essentially charging people for prayers and Hebrew names, which is something that you can readily get online for free. And I mean, I'm just shocked. I have no words. I have no words for that. It's kind of disgusting. That's why I think, Yahweh Hashem Yashai, that I'm not the Most High, because I would have taken these niggas out already and done some some crazy shit. But everything is on the Lord's timeline. So let's go ahead and play this video. And really, if they find that those men are actually guilty, according to the law, you're supposed to put them to death. And I can guarantee you that this woman screamed out. They first attacked her husband, I believe. They beat the shit out of him, and then they came after his woman. And he was trying to stop it, and you could tell that she definitely didn't like it, and they did some nasty things to her. So let's go ahead and get into the law. Okay, and this is part of just the many things that when the nation of Israel come into power, all of this madness will stop. It won't stop permanently, right? But it will be reduced less and less because there's going to be consequences in place, right? If you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. And it's going to act as a deterrent on these nations from committing these heinous acts, okay? So let's go to Deuteronomy 22. Let's start. Now they give all different what's the word I'm looking for? Scenarios, right? You have the damsel that doesn't cry out. You have the damsel that's not married, right? You have the damsel that doesn't cry out and she's married. You have the damsel that is married but she doesn't cry out, and they both get put to death. So I'm going to go to the one which applies, which is right here, Deuteronomy 22. Let's see. Right here. Okay. Yep, this is Deuteronomy 22, verse 25. It says, "But if a man find a betrothed damsel," and this woman, I believe they were either married or dating. You know, these couples right here, this couple. Okay. It says, "But unto the damsel, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and a man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die." And in this scenario, all these men, right? These men that committed this heinous acts, which I'm not even going to her pictures that she posted. This is why, the scriptures always say that a woman, right? You're not supposed to give too much liberty for a woman to get abroad, okay? To just start traveling everywhere and showing her goods. This is what you get, because she figured that, oh, I'm a tourist and whatnot. I come from a first world country. These men in these other countries won't touch me. Well, you're gonna find out that you messed up. You messed up because the thinking, or let me say the mindset that exists in these Eastern societies is totally different from the Western, all right, society. Western civilization is run by women, okay, and the head of Western civilization would be Esau, Edom. Okay, the Edomites. They are the ones who create the laws and the legislations and the bills, and they create the norms for society. They declare what's good and evil, right? Scripture says, "Woe to them that call evil good and good evil." That's talking about the Edomites, starting with the elites. So you can see here, she's someone that posts a lot of, see here, a lot of provocative photos. Now, this is the picture that they took when they were in India. You can see that she's covered, right? Well covered and all of that. And she still got ravished. She still got ravished. This is Deuteronomy 22. I'm going to continue finishing. It says, verse 26, "But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slave him, even so is this matter." Okay. "For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her." Okay. And if this is true that she, did not enjoy, she was screaming for help, this and that, this law is supposed to be implemented, okay? And these men are supposed to be put to death, okay? But that's not going to happen because in this society, Esau gives these heathen nations, these nations, the liberty to do whatever they want as long as they follow a blueprint, which is what? Accept homosexuality, right? Accept the plan. You got to accept the new digital currency, right, as a part of their agenda. You have to accept women's liberations and women's rights and a few other things. As long as you do that, you can continue, I guess you could say, continue your third world country culture and whatever you do in your country. Okay, this is let me go to Sirach 10 verse 1. It says, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered." And this is why we need to come into power, because one of the many few reasons why we need to come into power is because these heathens don't have the ability to rule themselves. Okay, they don't have the ability to rule the earth. They don't even have the ability to rule their own countries. Now, in the kingdom of heaven, after the 1,000 years are done away with, or let me say after the 1,000 years are passed, the nations will go back to their lands, as the scripture says, right? They shall be joined into Burial. That's Isaiah the 14th chapter, and also that's in Revelation, I think it's the 20th chapter, where it says, "The dead live not again until the 1,000 years were fulfilled." That's talking about the nations, okay? Because after they get their ass whooped, we beat them, beat into them the law, statutes, commandments, because we will be facing opposition. We can't do it peacefully. If you look at the Ishmaelites, they're very, very zealous in what they believe in. Okay, when you look at the Elamites, you have what, Buddhism and Hinduism, the two main religions in that country. They are very, very zealous in what they believe in. So they're not going to give up their gods, right, through negotiation. It has to be by force. Okay? But when we come into power, these laws will govern the whole earth, and all this madness will stop. Okay? All this madness will stop. And she herself, which I believe if you look at this photo, let me find a photo. She's 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 Brazilian and Spanish. Now I believe she's of Brazilian ethnicity, which if this is true, she'll be from the tribe of Asher, right? Pursuant to Genesis the 49th chapter, right? She'll be an Asherite uh, from the tribe of Asher of the Northern Kingdom, and I think she's a Spanish citizen, so she has Spanish citizenship, which is very possible because a lot of the Latin tribes, it's a part of the law in Spain. If you're from Latin America, you're eligible for citizenship within 2 years of living in the country. So that's why a lot of them go to Spain, because it's better opportunities, better pay, a better quality of life in general. Okay. Let me go to, in fact, let me get this right here. And we at GMS, we don't condone what happened. We're not happy. We don't condone this type of behavior, because you can already see that she's clearly with a man. Even if she wasn't with a man, that's not the right way of doing things. Now there are laws in place on what to do if this occurs, right? If she's not married and a man happened to touch her, okay, you would have to give her father money, okay, and you have to take her as her wife. You have to take her as your wife, and you cannot put her away for as long as you live. Okay, that's the law that's in place. So the scriptures, the scriptures don't really condone this type of behavior. There are just laws in place for if it were to happen. And if you look at the heading, you'll see here on the heading it says laws on morality. Okay, because the Most High, He's a just power, a moral and just power. Okay. So it's here. Let's go to Sirach 25, verse 25. It says, "Give the water no passage, and neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad." Now, off first case, if she's not within the circle of Yahweh Shai, she can be regarded as wicked. Okay. And if she was a righteous woman, the Lord wouldn't have had this happen to her. Okay. This can also be forms of judgment. And it just happened to be so that when she went to that country, that's when that judgment took place. All right. When the kingdom of heaven is established, we won't be allowing, all right, women, primarily, you other nations, women to just be wandering around the place, because that's really out of order. Okay. You're supposed to be inside the house, taking care of the kids, taking care of the household, right? Not prancing everywhere like you're untouchable. This Proverbs 24, verse 3, it says, "Through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established." So one of the reasons why, just putting off the spiritual aspect of us receiving the law, statutes, commandments inwardly, right? All the other nations, they did not have the proper wisdom, right, that we do. Okay, if you look at the Assyrians, if you look at the Babylonians, they did not have the proper wisdom. Okay, there's a scripture that says, "The knowledge of wickedness is no knowledge at all." So the knowledge that they possess is not really knowledge, and that's why all these kingdoms fell the way they did. But when we come into power, the wisdom that we'll possess, even that itself will keep the kingdom of heaven, our kingdom, running eternally. Okay, let me go to Sirach 37th chapter, and this one just came off my head. Sirach, the 37th chapter. We go to now. Where is it in this chapter? Oh, this is a good one, right? It says, "A wise man instructeth his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not." Okay, and Yahushua is the ultimate instructor who has instructed us on what's good and what's not. Okay, and his fruits, you can see the fruits that are sprawling forth. Good fruit. These same fruit, if they continue to endure unto the end, will be of the elect, and it will be of the first church. Talks about the church of the first fruits. So let me do this. Days of man. I got 15 minutes left. No, that's not it. Days of is. Yep. I don't know why I couldn't find the scripture. I knew it was a Sirach 37th chapter. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this says the days of the life of man may be numbered, and that man is referring to anyone who's not an Israelite in this scripture alone, because you can see in the next sentence right after I think that's a colon, right? It says, "But the days of Israel." So when you see man and Israel being mentioned, right, more than likely that the man is referring to the nations and Israel is referring to Israel. Okay, the days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel, Yasharallah, are innumerable. And the reason why it's going to be innumerable is because we're going to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to rule and govern the people. Just like how Yahushua asks for wisdom and knowledge and understanding to rule Israel, the elect will be given wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to rule the nations. And right now, through this process, the Lord is building us up. Okay, building us up by what? By ruling ourselves. Ruling our flesh. That's a big battle. Ruling amongst our people, the brotherhood, the church. If a man can't rule and govern believers, right, those that believe in the same thing, how can he govern the nations? Okay, so there you go. I'm going to get one more scripture. Let's see. We go to yeah, Ecclesiastes. Yep, there's Ecclesiastes 7 verse 12. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge," right? The good thing about knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Okay, and we have been breathed into us what? The Holy Spirit, which guides us into all understanding. That's the beautiful thing about having this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And is only given to a particular nation, and within that nation is given to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it off there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Again, and like I said, it was just going to be a short one. I'm probably going to do, Lord willing, I'm going to do a transit video, right? Getting ready to leave in about 12 minutes. I want to do a transit video. I'm just going to speak briefly about the Sakari situation. A lot of stuff that has happened over the past 2 days when I was bedridden. I was sick. Yeah, I'm not surprised what Sakari is doing. I'm not surprised at all. These men are hirelings, and they truly don't care about the sheep of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. The only ones that I feel bad for are those lost souls. You know, if they're not of the elect, then they're not gonna come out of that madness. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out there. Shalom.